Eagle fans, and welcome out to Brocato's on a Wednesday night here. And it is the inaugural edition for the 2025 season of the Eagles Nest Coaches Show. And we're here with head coach David Perkins. Coach, man, welcome aboard.
Man, nice to be here. You got a great new venue. Actually one of my coach's restaurant, but it's a big staple here in Alexandria. A lot of things happen here. A lot of barbershop talk goes on right here. So, man, it's great to have everybody. You can see it's a great crowd. And, man, it's just great to be here.
Look, that was the number one thing that they covered when we started this. They said, look, after the show, everybody got to go home.
Yeah, everybody got to go home because, you know, everybody likes to congregate and stay for a while. And you got to make your rounds, kind of like politicking a little bit in here. So we've set the rule, 8 o'clock. We got to roll. Sam's got to be back here like at 4 in the morning.
Oh, my goodness. I didn't know they made one that early in the morning, but we'll talk about that. Big shout before we get going on here. Some of our folks that make this possible for us, of course, Brocato's Breakfast and Lunch is where we're at here. 3 Potato More, they're on board with us. The A&A Club. Couldn't do a thing without HSM Athletics, Coach, and you guys do a great work with that. Principal Chris Gatlin, of course, Lynn Roy, who I understand if you want answers, you go to Mr. Gatlin. If you want correct answers, you go to Lynn.
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm finding out. And, of course, Coach, you and your crew for coming out on this tonight. So what we're going to do this season is we'll talk to you, we'll talk to some of your coaches, some of the players, and we're bringing in different groups each and every week to come in. Tonight we've got dance and cheer, and so at halftime of the show, they're going to perform right inside the building. We're excited about that. Of course, want to bring in the third member of our party right here. It is the voice of the Menard Eagles this season, and Robert Anderson.
Yes,
Robert
sir.
Anderson joins us on here, and Robert got his first duty in the Jamboree. Robert, welcome aboard.
Thank you, I appreciate it, and I'm thrilled to be here. I'm thrilled to be at Brocato's, and you know, I got to see some of the same folks that I knew growing up, and I feel at home.
Look, indeed you do. Of course, on the camera is Landon Anderson, his son there, and gosh, dog it, Nick Morrow. Look, I'm in different places every night, so it's difficult. But now that we've got all of that out of the way, Coach, let's jump right into it. Man, what a ball game. It's Friday up in Natchitoches at that battle on the bricks there. You and Winfield went toe-to-toe.
Absolutely. It had to be probably the best game of the weekend, I would think. You know, usually in a Jamboree, you don't get a lot of kind of game type things that going to happen, but you know we had it all. You know, we had a long kickoff return against us, something we got to coach up this week. You know, we talked off air about the long drive we had to try to win the game right there at the end. You know, had a shot to win it. You know, went like 85 yards in a little over a minute and a half.
Right.
You know, so that's something we got to work on. It's something we coached them up with. And, you know, just a lot of things happened. You know, the adversity we faced, and then coming back, you know, we got some two-way players. We had to coach them up as far as the heat got to us a little bit. We had some guys cramping.
Right.
So guys had to go in, and we've been preaching that all year. You know, you got to be in shape. You got to be ready to go in, guys. Starting is not always guys like to start, but we need dudes that can come off the bench, and when they come off the bench, we don't lose anything, and that's what we're preaching this week, and that's what we're trying to get done. You know, we got young guys that need to play and have to play and have to be good by the end of the season.
There you go. Robert, your take on the first half of that game last week, and Coach told you we saw a lot of different things on there. What did you see?
Know, Coach was a lot of different situations. I mean, you know, 2-minute offense at the end. You know, it was a battle. I mean, you saw, you know, Winfield gave you your best. You know, you gave Winfield their best. It was just a rock'em sock'em, you know, first half.
It was.
And it was a great game to watch, you know, for anybody.
Absolutely. You know, in the last couple of years, you know, I've been preaching that we want to play defense. You know, we want to run the football, you know, grind the clock, you know, try to make it a short game. But I'm going to tell you, we don't have that philosophy this year, you know, because we got the dudes. And, you know, and we're able to spread it out now, and we're pretty explosive on offense. And I think you guys saw the capabilities we have, you know, and we made some big plays. You know, in the passing game, you know, it's gotten a lot better. We've got number 3, Jake Vaughn. He's a senior now. Yep. You know, he's in his 3rd year of starting. You know, so this game has slowed down for him, you know. And so, you know, Matthew Hicks, you know, that slot receiver, you know, he's fast, he's tall. You know, he was open a couple of times. We missed him deep on passes, and Jake still threw for over 200 yards in this game. And I say this game in a half a game.
That's right.
You know, and I told Jake after the game, I go, can you add 233 plus 233? You know, and he yes sir. He goes, well, that was half a game, and he thought about it. You know, and we haven't been that explosive here in the last couple of years. So I'm excited about that. And, and the defense played, at first we were a little timid. We didn't play a scrimmage, so that first quarter we kind of was finding ourselves. But in the second quarter we started picking it up a little bit. They didn't score the second quarter or the second half, however you want to say
right.
it. And, if that would have been a 4-quarter game, that would have been a really good game,
And you can't look at that kickoff return for the touchdown there at halftime as anything other than just one of those botched plays. And I'm just saying in general, not on you guys, but it should have been fumbled. The ball was bouncing around, and so everybody's converging, and he just comes out of the pack with it.
He does, and and they got some fast guys.
That's right.
Once he got out of the pack, he's gone against us. But we had a chance to get him down, and of course we've looked at that a bunch of times on film with the players, and pointed out how we play that the next time. It's a jamboree. We'll learn from it. Obviously, we coach them up that we do not want to give up big plays, and
right.
look how good you can be if you don't give up big plays, because we played really good in between the big plays.
Well, you did, and early on you did as well, and that's one of the things you talked about earlier too, is in the last couple of years we've not seen, we even would made a comment on which game was going to end earliest.
Absolutely.
And it was the Menard game because you're running football. And now you took the lid off of the defense and took some shots on there. And we'll talk to Coach Julio and some of that when he comes in about the philosophy that's changing. But you talk about, and of course our cool play of the game brought to you by Southern Air was Vaughn to Matthew Hicks. And they could have connected for a couple of more times, but it's good to see that chemistry building already.
Absolutely, and he's in that slot, so he can get down the middle of the field,
right.
and he's tall. He's real athletic. He's probably one of the athletic guys on the team. He's a basketball player. He's a pole vaulter. He's a really good pole vaulter. So he's got good hops. He can get down the field quickly. And Jake, and he was a little tired on a couple of those long passes, because he's playing defense. But Jake's got to hype it down just a little bit more, maybe take a couple more steps back, and we talked about that. And, so that threat down the field, and you've got Cutter Knowles right there next to him. Cutter's real fast, too. He's a smaller guy, but, he's out there at that wide out, but sometimes we'll put them together and we'll stack them. And, and when you got that much speed, both of those guys, it's going to be hard to guard both of them.
Oh, and you run the ball pretty well out of the back with Moran.
And with Moran, and Moran missed the majority of the season last year
right.
with a knee injury, and, he rehabbed that. He worked hard to get back. I was a little tentative about playing him into the jamboree, but, let's test him. Let's see. Let's go. And he wanted to play. And you can see what a threat he is, not only running the ball,
right.
but you saw out of the backfield what he can do, and he's a threat down the field. And Coach Julio has come up with an offense where he'll just go completely empty. 5 wide receivers with Jake back there, man. It's hard to guard all of them. And then Jake's a running threat. So,
right.
I'm excited.
Coach, I loved seeing the offensive line play. I felt like the offensive line played extremely well. They kept, Jake healthy and not taking any big hits or anything else like that.
They absolutely did, and we've been talking about all the skill guys.
Right.
Well, none of that happens without them big boys. We're an experienced line. We've got all district guys that are up there. We do have one guy, Gage Wright, who's a senior. This is his first year to play, but he's a basketball player and a baseball player, so he's athletic. And he's playing that left tackle over there, so that's important for Jake. But and he's learning and getting better every single day, and he played well. And the whole offensive line did, we just need to get in a little bit better shape. Pass blocking was really, really good, So we're like I told, Doug, we're real excited about what could happen, and we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens on Friday night with the first one against Northwood Lena up there at their place. And so, we're excited about coming up and doing the broadcast. And I see great things for this, this coming year.
Absolutely, and we're excited to have y'all. Hopefully we'll have a good crowd going down there. It's always special whenever it's the opening game.
That's right.
Take the opening day in baseball, same way in football. You're coming out of the scrimmages if you played in the jamborees, and it's the first day, and now it counts. And it's a little extra, a little heartbeat in there. The butterflies are a little bit flying around a little bit more in that stomach. So. But the guys are ready. They're ready to play, and I'm ready to coach them.
It won't take but a couple of hits to get those butterflies right out of there. we're going to take our first break of the night. When we come back, we'll go ahead and talk to a couple of the players. We'll do that when we come back. But I'd be remiss if we did. Let's spin that camera around and take a look at the crowd that made their way into Brocato's tonight. So just a big hats off to everybody that we got to work on our PA system too, because I don't know that they can all hear us. But a tremendous job that they are doing here. When we come back, we'll talk to a couple of the Eagles players. You are watching the Eagles Nest Coaches Show live from Brocato's right here on 446 Sports.
Yeah, so what happened out there tonight?
We struck out at home with leftovers, then we remembered walk-ons.
What effect did the situation have?
Spirit soared. Nick took on a burger. Jen obliterated her ribeye po' boy. And speaking of spirits, Laura even scored a real tasty cocktail. She needed that.
Any lessons learned today?
Yeah. Head straight to walk-ons.
Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers, and cocktails. Walk-ons for the win.
Discover golf like never before at Links on the Bayou, Central Louisiana's hidden gem. Welcome to a golf experience like no other. Our Links style design sets the stage for an exciting and unique adventure. 5 distinct tee boxes cater to every skill level, ensuring a game that's perfect for you. And when you're ready to refuel, head to Becky's Bunker Club for dining with a view and gear up in our pro shop. Ready to elevate your golfing experience? Tee off at Links on the Bayou today. Links on the Bayou, redefining the way you enjoy golf.
And we are back here to Brocato's on a Wednesday night. It is the home of the Eagles Nest Coaches Show. I'm your host, Doug Gann. We'll be here all season long with you, and we're going to meet a lot of the Eagles players. We've got a couple of the seniors that are here with us, so I'm going to let them go ahead and introduce themselves to you tonight. So go ahead.
All right, my name is Zach Dozot, and I'm a senior, and I play football for, of course, Menard, and I'm wide receiver. I wear number 1, and I really do like playing for Menard, and I really do think we can do great things this year as a team, as a staff. I think we're good all around this year, and we have a whole bunch of seniors coming in, so I really do like our odds this year.
All right, let's go ahead and meet down on this end.
I'm Jake Vaughn, number 3. I play quarterback for Menard. I'm just really excited for this season after playing in that jamboree. It showed us a lot of the good things that we can keep going through and the bad things that we need to fix.
There you go, Jake Vaughn, number 3 on there, and Zach, Tell me your last name again, Zach.
Dozot.
There you go. See, I'll have this after that. You know, it seems like you're on about your 8th year playing quarterback for
Yes,
Menard.
sir. It does feel like that.
Every year we look around, it's like, well, he was a sophomore, he's a junior. Now your senior year is here.
Yes,
what
sir.
What do you think that growth has done for you to get you ready for this year?
Yeah, I've definitely grown as a leader, especially for the team. We just lack in certain areas, and just being an older guy, we get help through that.
That's one of the things that when we talk to Coach Perkins, we've been out there, of course, Robert, John Wolf, those guys that have been around the practices too. The senior leadership, I think, is what is shining this year. What have you said? I mean, because you got, what, about 10 or 12 seniors? How many do you guys have?
We have 17.
17 seniors. What have you done as a group to say, you know what, let's leave our mark on Menard? What are you guys doing as a group?
Well, we always do great things in practice. I see us getting better with each other, and I see us knowing how to run the ball and pass the ball and just be better in general. I just see a lot of potential coming out from especially all of our seniors. With all 17, really, I see a lot of potential.
You got younger guys that are out there too. So
absolutely.
They don't like to listen to what you're telling them. They see it on the field. So what do you guys do to go out and make sure that you're leading by example?
I mean, just do the best you can. You just got to listen to coaches. You have to be able to take the yellings. I've definitely got a lot of criticism in the past three or 4 years.
Let's call it that.
Yeah. I've been critiqued the past 4 years playing football at Menard, but you just have to be able to handle it. And when those guys see that, they become better themselves.
Look, we talked a little bit about that Jamboree game, and of course it's in the past. We're looking ahead to Northwood and Leda. But you and I, we all agreed that you were able to work on some things that you can't do in the scrimmages, which you didn't have the scrimmage.
Yes, sir.
You can't do in practice because it's timed and you got somebody that's trying to stop you. Take me through that final drive on there and what it meant to you guys.
Well, it meant a lot to us. It showed us what we can do as an offense. It showed us what we can do to be better, and it showed us how to improve. Like, we've never really been that good with it whenever it comes to the passing game, you know.
Absolutely.
And this year I'm seeing a lot of potential in that passing game, and I think Jake can really drive the ball now since he's knowing how to read everywhere he needs to go and knowing how to pick and choose who he needs to throw to.
Jake, and that's one of the things that we talked about with Coach Perkins as well. You've got your wideouts. I mean, the big touchdown that was our play of the game to Hicks on there. But then you got more in the backfield.
Absolutely.
And sometimes Coach Julio puts you guys 5 wide. You're able to take off and run if you need to.
Yes, sir.
The opportunities in that offense, just to tell me a little bit about that.
Well, now that Aiden can catch the ball, he used to not be able to, but he has great hands, and he showed it through that Jamboree game.
Right.
He did a great job, great game, and having those 5 receivers out, it's really hard for defenses to read what we're going to do because I can run it and I can pass it, so it's just going to be hard for defenses to read that.
And look, you don't have to be able to run it. You just got to have the threat of being able to run it because in the past, you're not going to take off and get out of there unless you really had to on it. But now they've got to have somebody that's just spying on you because you'll tuck it and just go.
Yes, sir.
Look, what has it been like going against the defense out there? You guys are working against a pretty solid defense in practice every day.
Yes, sir. It's a lot of competition. We compete every day. I remember one of the first practices during fall camp, we had a good thing going, and everyone was yelling at each other. We got fierce and competitive, and I think that's just what we need for all the practices each and every week. Just go in and compete.
Fierce and competitive. Is that a good way to clear it up?
Yes, sir. That's right.
Look, you look at, if you're an outsider and you're walking around and you see and tempers flare. I mean, it's competitive. I don't think you want to stop it. I want that type of competitiveness within, because when it comes game time, man, it's going between the lines.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
That's we're excited for it too. So what do you think that you took out of the Jamboree that you'll use for Northwood in week 1 that maybe bettered you a little bit, both of you?
I definitely think that the passing game, like how we ran our routes and how smoothly and crisp we ran during that Jamboree, I do think we can run a lot of screens too during this season. We've seen a lot of potential in our screen game, and I think honestly the more we just keep practicing and practicing that, I think we can definitely perfect that.
There you go. How much?
Back at the Jamboree game, I honestly think that is the best our offensive line is protected and done for our running backs and quarterbacks. I just want to thank them. They did a great job in that game, and I see a lot of potential in them and our team as well.
Look, if you want the definition of a good quarterback, it's somebody that complements his offensive line. That's great work. That's right there. And you guys have grown together. I mean, you've seen them get in just the chemistry and the camaraderie, because this is 2 or 3 years into this for you guys.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
What do you think the difference is going to be this season now?
I definitely think, like how I've said, the passing game is going to be a huge improvement this year. I think we can still run the ball too. I think we can overpower our other teams with the run game. I think Aiden Moran coming back, I think we can definitely have some good runs out of him. And I definitely think with our backup, even Brooks Juno, he's been getting some good practice in too. He's been doing really good, I've seen. And our offensive line has been improving a lot. And our receivers have been improving a lot too. So I feel like all around we're just going to be really good this year.
We're going to have him on in just a little bit too, Coach Julio. How has that been, knowing the fire that you've seen out of him so far? I see the smile coming in. Tell me about practices and the games with Coach Julio.
Well, in the past 3 years I've been at Menard, or the past 4 years I've played football, and since he's been coaching me for the past 3, there hasn't been a game where he hasn't yelled at me, and I understand that because I know he wants me to be better, and he believes in me. So
now I got to interject right there, because when I see Coach Julio, he's just sitting there peaceful and calm and not doing anything. Look, you're telling me, look how calm he is, and you're telling me he gets and he hollers at you and gets loud?
he has, yeah, I don't know about Spanish, but he'll definitely get on me when he needs to. But I understand, and when all the criticism that he gives me, it's just a learning moment for me,
right,
and it makes me better as a player for sure.
Well, guys, we're excited about following you all season. We'll be here. Tell me, what do you think about the crowd that has made it in here tonight?
It's a really nice crowd to see, for especially our first time in the Brocatos, and for this, I really do appreciate everybody for coming out and for supporting Menard this year.
Well, one of the cool things that we're going to do is we're going to have some different groups throughout the school. As a matter of fact, coming up in about 10 minutes, we're going to have the cheer and the dance perform out there in the middle of it as well. And, man, it's going to have that Friday night feel for it already.
Yes,
guys,
sir.
we appreciate you stopping by on
Yes,
here,
sir.
too.
Absolutely.
Don't go anywhere. You are watching the Eagles Nest Coaches Show. When we come back, we'll talk to a couple of the captains of the cheer and the dance squad, and we'll let them go out there and perform. And we'll do all of that when we come back live from Brocato's on a beautiful Wednesday night here on the Eagles Nest Coaches Show on 446 Sports.
Discover golf like never before at Links on the Bayou, Central Louisiana's hidden gem. Welcome to a golf experience like no other. Our Links-style design sets the stage for an exciting and unique adventure. 5 distinct tee boxes cater to every skill level, ensuring a game that's perfect for you. And when you're ready to refuel, head to Becky's Bunker Club for dining with a view, and gear up in our pro shop, ready to elevate your golfing experience. Tee off at Links on the Bayou today. Links on the Bayou, redefining the way you enjoy golf.
Yeah, so what happened out there tonight?
We struck out at home with leftovers, then we remembered walk-ons.
What effect did the situation have?
Spirit soared. Nick took on a burger. Jen obliterated her ribeye po' boy. And speaking of spirits, Laura even scored a real tasty cocktail. She needed that.
Any lessons learned today?
Yeah. Head straight to walk-ons.
Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers, and cocktails. Walk-ons for the win.
back live to Brocato's on a Wednesday night here. And look, you folks aren't privy to the conversations that go on off the air on there, but that was one of the most interesting ones that we've had. Representatives of the cheer and the dance on there, so go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'm Ellie Fairbanks.
Look, put that a little close. There you go.
I'm Ellie Fairbanks, and I'm the captain of the HSM cheer squad.
Okay.
My name's Mia Bolton, and I'm captain of the dance line squad at Menard.
Both seniors?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how long have you been on the squad?
For 6 years.
How long?
4 years.
Okay, so that's 6 years and 4 years. And you're telling me you're not prepared to do a cheer tonight, is that right? Well, now look, in their defense, they said they weren't prepared on here, so I told them we'd leave it up to the crowd. If the crowd wants to see a cheer tonight, then we'll do that. So look, you can see I gotta have some noise out there though before they look. I've got a little noise. So you got to come cheer just for this table that's over here. Now, take me through your 6 years though, and we'll think about it. We may not do one of those on there. Boy, that's disappointing. I tell you what, you'll have to come back one time when you compare and do that. Now, are y'all prepared for Friday night?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't do one of those?
We could.
Aha, now we're getting to the root of all of this. So anyway, tell me about 6 years. That's a long time to be on there. And I think that's part of the beauty of Menard is that you're able to be a part of something for a long time. Tell me about that.
So I originally started in junior high in 7th grade, so I don't know, I just kind of stuck with it throughout high school too. It was really just a great community to be a part of.
Right.
And it gave me a bunch of my best friends to this day, so it's always been fun.
Your Friday night lights out there, I mean, you hear about that so cliche, but your job is to get the crowd pumped up. It starts with the run out of the team and all of that. Take me through a Friday night.
So it starts off by half of us will be chanting for the football players on the side.
What do you chant? Let me hear. See, I'm going to get you before it's over with. Boy, that was close. All right, go ahead.
And then there's about 5 or 6 of us that tumble out with the football players.
Okay.
And then that just really starts, I guess, the hype that we have.
Right.
And then throughout the whole game, we're just cheering along, offense and defense. And then during halftime, we cheer dance line on. And it's just always so fun.
Tell me about your time with dance. This is year 4 for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I always knew that I wanted to be on dance lines from a younger age because I've always been on dance, and my older sister was on it. So I always knew that it was something for me. And yeah, I don't know, I've just always stuck with it and become in the leadership role, and it's just, I don't know, I just love leading it and having a great team.
What's your favorite part about a Friday night, about a game night there at the Eagles Nest?
Halftime performance.
Halftime performance.
I love it.
There you go.
It's a feeling like no other.
And you guys prepare for that every day you're practicing.
Every day.
So there's no way you could show up and not be prepared to do something. Is that what you're telling me?
I don't have any music.
Look, you've got to have it in your head. I mean, the crowd is expecting to see a cheer or something that's out there. All right, we'll still work on that. Let's have a memory of your time at Menard. Doesn't have to be football related. It could be one of the dance. It could be anything on there. A memory of your time here at Menard.
Do you want to go?
I don't know. I feel like it'd be football. There's just no feeling other than Friday night lights. There really isn't. I love it. I love the.
Do y'all do some of the competitions? Do you
we
go
do.
and do?
We
Tell
do.
me about that a little bit.
So we go to state every year in January,
Okay.
and we compete in our division. And there's a ton of other amazing teams there from Louisiana, and it's so much fun.
How has that been for you the last two or 3 years?
Freshman year, we did really good, and then the last few years we had a smaller team, so it was a little bit tougher. But this year we're really strong, and I'm confident for this year.
Looking forward to January.
Absolutely.
What about you guys? Y'all go to the competitions?
We normally compete, but this year we decided not to because of how small of a team we have.
Okay.
Normally we don't do too bad. We're really good. We compete in Dallas, so it's a much more broad competition, and they're all very good. Every year it's very challenging. So.
Well, we hear a lot about that one too, so we're excited about the times that you've had. All right, let's go back to something you told me about a little bit earlier. You run out and they're tumbling and all of that.
Yes.
Anybody ever
Me, actually.
All right, so tell us about that one too.
So
I didn't know I didn't know that was good. I wouldn't. Well, yeah, I would have asked you still, but
one time last year, actually, I don't remember who we were playing, but it had rained prior that day.
right.
And, you know, I tumble every game. I never say no. I love to flip. So they're running really fast, and I'm flipping really fast, and I go up, and I go to turn around, and I slip in mud. And then I think it was Aaron Bravel maybe, or Jacob, I don't remember. They just flat out ran, like, jumped over me. It was like, that was insane.
Nobody was stopping to help you up. They were going.
Oh, no, because they don't, like, pay attention. They're just running just to run.
So that's the only time. So you're the only one in the time that in the 6 years that's fell?
I think so.
Wow, I had no idea of such an honor on there too. Now dance, it's not that you guys don't run out there at the start.
We don't flip,
right?
but we do stand on the side with the other cheerleaders and cheer. Yeah.
There you go. That's awesome. What is your favorite routine that you've done through the time?
My favorite routine, probably a kick dance.
Right.
I don't know which one. They're all my favorites.
Okay. So
but
you
I
know
love
them
kick
pretty
dances.
well. You could do them just without music.
I need some music.
Dadgummit, I'm going to get there. What about your routine? What is one of the favorite ones you have?
Probably, we had a neon pep rally my freshman year.
Right.
I think it was either the first or second pep rallies I've ever done. To this day, it's still my favorite one I've ever done.
That's awesome. All right, now, away from cheer, away from football, favorite subject?
Ooh.
There's got to be at least one. You've had a bunch.
I think religion
Okay.
for me. I don't know.
Probably math.
Math?
Maybe.
All right. I math was my favorite as well. All right, so we'll go the other direction. Least favorite? We're not talking
Chemistry.
teachers here. Don't get in trouble with teachers.
Oh, chemistry was hard last year.
Chemistry was hard.
All right, look, and that's even with somebody that loves math, chemistry is difficult, without a doubt. All right, so on the road this week, it's great, but you'll be back home in a couple of weeks for the first home game. What's going through your mind when it's say, hey, this is our first game of the season at home?
I'm so sad. I love Menard. I love the community, and like, to me, like, this is our first, like, I've grown up with Mia again. It's just really, like, sentimental for me, and I just, like, I don't know what I'm going to do when I'm not on the sidelines next year.
There you go.
I agree. But we're definitely getting ready. I'm getting my girls ready, telling them that they gotta lock in for our home games.
Well, and that's one of the questions, too. Some of the newer people that are on there, too, some of the younger ones, because if you go down into junior high or these younger ages, what do you try to leave to them and let them know what it means to be in that legacy here at Menard?
I just think that, like, leading by example and, like, showing them how important it is to us. We have a bunch of new members on our cheer team this year, and they have, like, stuck with it. They have not, like, let up. Like, they are very dependable, and I think it just shows that, like, they do want to be here and they love Menard.
There you go.
I was going to say that too, just being a good example for them and leaving a legacy with them to have later on in the years.
Well, that's great. Look, I appreciate you stopping by on here, and thank you for coming up here and being part of the interview. When we come back, Cheer's going to perform right out there
right there in the middle of Brocatos.
Spin the camera around. I mean, that's why they cleared that section out, you know.
Yes.
That's why it's there. All right, so we will have Cheer when we come back. Is that right?
Yes.
All right, there you go. But not dance?
No, dance too.
Dance too.
Wait, we don't have any drums. We don't have any drums.
No, it's okay. Dance too.
We don't have any drums.
I don't know if I necessarily believe what you're telling me. I have that sense
next
of
time,
don't
next
necessarily week. All right, you say so.
Do we have a speaker? A speaker?
Right there.
Why did you say that?
So what else you got? And it's got an auxiliary spot. You can't Bluetooth it, but it's got an auxiliary. So yeah, no, we can do that. Or your phone can plug into this and it'll go over. I can put the microphone down. Whatever you choose. I mean, I'm easy that way.
My girls might have left though. I don't see any of them.
They're outside getting loose. They're practicing because you see them out the window.
Oh my God!
They're not letting y'all off.
Oh, they are. They are practicing.
All right, so cheer and dance when we come back. We're going to take a break. excited about this one. You just thought they're getting ready, and y'all are trying to say no.
Oh
It is the inaugural edition of the Eagles Nest Coaches Show. Ladies, thank you so much. When we come back, they'll be right out there with cheer and dance. When we come back, this is the Eagle Nest Coaches Show on 446 Sports.
I'm your local Farm Bureau insurance agent, your local expert when it comes to protecting what you love and depend on. I'm Jason Hawk. Learn more about how Farm Bureau insurance can save you time and money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK and let me help you protect your biggest investments. Real service, real people. Farm Bureau Insurance.
Turning your life upside down? Trust Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to save the day. From keeping you comfortable to plumbing repairs and even generators, we do it all. Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, your one-stop solution for AC, plumbing, and generators. If you need us to save the day for you, call Southern.
And we are back live to Brocato's here on a Wednesday night. It is the Eagles Nest Coaches Show. And after much coaxing, it looks like cheer is ready to go. We've got the camera on them. So, Landon, whenever they're ready, we'll go ahead and they can take it away. I don't know. So, cheer, when y'all are ready, let's go. Boy, you can't beat fun at Brocato's on a Wednesday night. It won't Bluetooth. We'll have to that you may be off the hook. Look, if you put it. There you have it. See, there's nothing to it. All right, now this next part might be a little difficult. If you tell me what song it is, I'll put it up next to this. I don't know for sure that you'll be able to hear it. What's it's a thing on my phone. Okay, we're just going to put it up next to this. Or, will you be able to hear it, though? Yeah, because it's going to come out that speaker. Or do you want you just hold on to it? That's probably not going to work.
I don't know if this is going to work.
So this is live TV that we are working on now. We'll check and see. Where's your... Y'all gonna have to do. All right, so we're working our way through this. It was connecting the music to here. And look, I want you to know, we had a lot of objections and excuses. Cheer went and did a great job, and now Dance is going to go out and do a great job. And I'm going to tell you what, this is just one of those nights here having a lot of fun at Brocato's. Our man John Wolf has joined us here, and they said he was at an official meeting, and I said, well, what is this, unofficial? Actually, I didn't say that. Somebody else did, and I'll take they did a great job with it. So we're going to see captaining like a good captain should out there, too. So, and a tremendous job. How about another round of applause for the cheer team? They did a great job out there tonight. I think that speaker you might not be able to hear anything right there. Check, check, check. All right, we're getting this figured out. So coming up after dance goes, we are going to hear from Coach Julio on there. She might be coming back to break the bad news to us. You can't hear over there. Okay. Looks like we might not be able to have dance tonight on there. But in the old days, they had auxiliary cords, and you could plug the stuff in. And I don't think we can do that on there. But wait. We might just Bluetooth your phone to this. How about that? Turn your Bluetooth on and we'll see that. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll try to have our dance on there so you guys don't have to listen to what we do the entire time. We'll be back right after this on 446 Sports.
Yeah, so what happened out there tonight?
We struck out at home with leftovers, then we remembered walk-ons.
What effect did the situation have?
Spirit soared. Nick took on a burger. Jen obliterated her ribeye po' boy. And speaking of spirits, Laura even scored a real tasty cocktail. She needed that.
Any lessons learned today?
Yeah. Head straight to walk-ons.
Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers, and cocktails. Walk-ons for the win.
Discover golf like never before at Links on the Bayou, Central Louisiana's hidden gem. Welcome to a golf experience like no other. Our Links-style design sets the stage for an exciting and unique adventure. 5 distinct tee boxes cater to every skill level, ensuring a game that's perfect for you. And when you're ready to refuel, head to Becky's Bunker Club for dining with a view and gear up in
Brocato's, and we finally, through technology, got it worked out. We'll make sure that the dance team is ready to go. We'll look and we'll get some sort of a signal from them. Oh, when y'all are standing there smiling, that's the signal. I got it. Well, here we go then. If you've had that much fun on a Wednesday night before, but certainly a big thank you out to our dance team and our cheer team. They did wonderful on there, and a thank you to all of you for being a little bit quiet there so they could hear the music on it as well. We're going to bring Coach Julio on in just a second. Yeah, we'll get Coach Perkins back on as the camera spins around. Going to pull that back just a little bit. Did we turn the camera that back down a little bit, or is it okay? As long as it doesn't squeal, we're okay. Being joined by Coach Perkins and Coach Julio. And Well, Coach, if that doesn't get you ready for a Friday night, I don't know what will.
Sounds like a Friday night to me. You know, a lot of times we're out there practicing. We can hear our drum corps. They're practicing up at the school, you know, and they're beating on their drums and doing their stuff. And our guys are like, Coach, that sounds just like Friday night. So here you are, same thing right here.
Look, absolutely love it on there. Coach, a lot of talk has been on the new offense here for the Eagles. And, man, it was on display Friday on there. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, you know, at the end of the day, you got to give the credit to the young men. You know, they've been working the summer, weight room, practices over the summer. And shout out to them. They're the one that make the offense go.
Right. A lot of weapons that are out there. Man, it's got to excite you about going, you can do this. Or there's so many options, so many footballs that can be thrown around.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, you know, sometimes it's about trying to spread the wealth.
Right.
You know, and having these kind of weapons, it kind of allows us to open up the playbook a little more. So it's going to be interesting.
Look, you heard everything you expected to hear from Vaughn.
Right.
I mean, he's that guy when it comes to leadership. You expect him to say, but complimenting the offensive line at the end of it, that stuff you don't see till college or pros and NFL, but he understands things a little bit about it.
Oh, yeah. Look, and you know, the old lineman, Coach Redmond does a great job, and Coach Smith's come in and been able to help them out, and all credit to them. I mean, they've got these guys prepared, and, you know, right now it's just about going out there and executing.
Coach, when you see the game plans that you guys come up with on there and Coach Hill and what he's wanting to do, he's got to sit back and smile. It's like, you know what? This thing's firing on all cylinders.
Absolutely, and I let them game plan. They do everything, him and Coach Redmond and Coach Smith. They totally look at the films and, you know, they get us out there and see what works and what doesn't work. They do a lot of teaching in practice, you know. Sometimes I've got to tell them to let's speed it up a little bit and run more plays. And we did that a lot this week. We ran a whole lot of plays this week, offensively and defensively. But it just gives us an opportunity to kind of scale back or kind of look and see what we're really good at and what maybe we could, like, take out. But, you know, getting back to Jake Vaughn, you know, going into his third year, he's a really good leader. You know, he takes criticism really, really well. Coach Ortiz is on him a lot, which I like.
He said that too.
He did. But the thing about it is he got a great temperament, and he takes it real, real well, and he doesn't take it personal. And so, you know, he knows what we're trying to get accomplished, and Coach is trying to show him exactly what he has in his mind.
Right.
And, you know, sometimes with younger players, it's hard to get them to see what you see. But Jake's grown up, and he's doing it really well this year so far.
Look, when you game plan for the game, you got a lot of things that you were able to work on out of that Winfield game.
Right.
What does that give you that gets you ready for Northwood in game one?
Well, the biggest mistake was we understand where we made mistakes at, and things we need to correct. You know, another thing I want to compliment, especially the guys on the O-line, like, we get a lot of input from them.
Right.
We ask them to give us input. I mean, that way we can make adjustments, you know, series to series, and I have to wait to halftime to make adjustments.
Look, in having 17 seniors out on your team, they've got to be able to, I mean, that's got to help you some that they're seeing things and saying, hey, Coach, this is what we're seeing out here.
That's correct.
Absolutely. You know, and we're talking about it a little bit earlier. Offense has 9 seniors on it.
Right.
Okay, so, and if T-Sam's not in there, it's 10.
Right.
Defense has 2 seniors on it. You know, it's a balance there. But what happens in practice is a lot of the starting defense is going against the starting offense. I mean, I talked to Coach Julio and go, look, you know, a lot of our starting guys are playing scout squad defense.
Yes. Right.
So the offensive line especially is getting just great work against our little young defensive line, but they give them great work, and it works both ways. Makes defensive line better, makes offensive line better. It showed up against Winfield, and pretty sure we'll see that, you know, the majority of the season.
Look, that's such a good point because you hear so much about good on good. And when you're able to get the ones and the ones doing battle and not staying away from that, it makes both of them a lot sharper.
Oh, no doubt. And, you know, the hardest thing is try to simulate your game situations at practice. And like Coach Perkins said, that's exactly what we try to do, simulate game situations at practice.
Well, and I don't think that final drive of the game there, you can't simulate that in practice with the defense, the way they're playing. The clock is running. Because even though you're running a 2-minute drill, sometimes you pull up just a little bit. But you've got a situation there that one day during this season, you're going to need to say, okay, we did it. Let's go do it.
Right. That's correct. You know, the thing is, you know, the way we've been running up-tempo offense during practice, kind of helped that 2-minute offense, even if we didn't work on it, because of the fact we knew that we're trying to get a playoff every 12 to 15 seconds.
Right. Coach, when you see them go that fast, there's anybody that's got, well, we've got some tape on Menard the last couple of years. They throw that out the window.
Well, we don't want to get that out there too much right now, but it's going to be hard probably to go back and look and see what we did the last couple of years. We talked about it earlier.
Right.
Philosophy was a little bit different, but it was because of personnel. And so it'll be a little bit different this year because of personnel. Some of those guys have grown up. Last year we had a lot of even though we had juniors and seniors, we had a lot of first-year players, and that's such a difference in high school football. And now that some of those guys have 1 or 2 years experience, it's showing up right now so far earlier in the season, and it showed up a little bit in the Winfield game, and we've got to coach our guys up a little. When you're playing the 2A and 1A ball and you got guys going both ways, where it's really hard and where you really got to coach is at practice because for instance, like we just said, a lot of our number ones are playing scout squad, but we still got to do team defense with the ones.
Correct.
So they're almost doing it twice, So, but you can't overdo it. Right. We don't have the luxury of some of the teams in town that's got 1,500 kids in it, and offense goes over there and practices, defense goes over there and practices. We're all together,
having to do it,
and we
right.
need every single freshman we got. We need every reserve guy we got to play in all the positions for we can just practice.
Coach, one of the things that steps out, and Menard's that type of school. Even when we talk to Dance and Cheer, they've 6 years on the squad and 4 years on it. They've built a chemistry and a camaraderie. We came by and saw the end of a workout one of these times, and these guys, they're not playing around in the weight room either. They're holding each other accountable on the field, but off the field as well in the weight room.
Absolutely, and we got a new weight program this summer. Kind of more focused on not heavyweights, but on speed and agility, and it's played off. This is the fastest team that I've coached as head coach, and pretty close to just coached at Menard. This is one of the fastest teams that I've coached, and that's a tribute to Coach Redmond, Coach Julio. They really worked these guys out this summer, man, and right now that part of it showing off, and not just like speed with the running backs and with the receivers, but even the linemen a little bit better agility, but speed on defense, and you got to play fast.
Look, and your defense, the quicker you score, the defense is going to be out there a little bit more, so that conditioning is going to be so vital when it comes to that. Look, it's been exciting watching just the Jamboree. We're glad to have you guys on 446 Sports for another year and be able to go back and watch these things that I wouldn't be able to go and see, but I'll go back and watch it too. So that's a lot of fun. Look, looking ahead this year, Miss Lynn has done a great job of getting organizations set up to come in here. That's kind of what you're going to see on this. Starting next week, we'll have our game ball presentation. We'll give somebody from there, we'll give them a football. I'm trying to think of the word, but anyway, it's going to be, it'll have the logos on there, it'll have Menard on there, and it'll have game ball, and we'll present that to them on the show. We'll talk about that. Also, Southern Air is back for our cool play of the game. You may have seen that with Vaughn. That's the one with Vaughn to Hicks in that one.
Yep.
So it's just stuff like that we're going to have crowds like this. Of course, we know. What did tonight seeing this? What did that do for you guys?
Well, it just shows you the support we have in this community, and they're going to show up. Our fans and our moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, they're going to show up for these people. And, we got great students, great student athletes. It's a pleasure to be in this community, and they'll do anything that I ask of them, they're willing to do, and it doesn't matter what it is. And I got to have that to be able to run a program, and that's why it's so successful.
Coach, seeing the fans come out tonight, that's going to move over to Friday night in the travel because Northwood just right up the road on there too. But seeing this type of excitement this early.
It's a great atmosphere, man, and you want to get the season kicked off this way, and hopefully this enthusiasm will continue through the season, and if we take care of business on the field, we'll continue to see this.
Well, we're looking forward to it. The Eagles Nest is the place to be. They'll be at Northwood Lena, just up the interstate. On Friday. Games at 7. They'll go on at 6:30. Robert and John will bring that to you, and excited to have them.
I want to give a shout out. We've dedicated this season to Michael Laborde.
Yes.
We've got his helmet up here. We'll have it every week.
Right.
And we did some interviews today about that. So we want to say that we're dedicating that season to him.
Yes.
The players want to do that. So
you see the hat that are worn too. That's around there.
Absolutely. And I want to give a shout out to my son up in Norfolk, Virginia, in the Navy, and him and Emily, and my my granddaughter Ellie, Brandon, they'll be moving to Pensacola soon, and my boy Carson and my Dylan and Bree.
Look,
and my son over there, Zach. So I want to make sure, and Mama P especially, because she does all kind of things for me, and she is the one. So she puts up with me, and that's hard to do.
Absolute shirt was amazing. It says "Hello football season, goodbye husband." That's perfect on the shirt. You know, it sounds like, I don't know if y'all ever watch Big Brother, and don't judge me because I do. But the end after they're voting, they're saying goodbye to, or they're saying hi to everybody as they go off, and that's what that was. But that's what it's all about. Big shout out to Brocato's here for hosting this all season long. The A&A Club, HSM Athletics that we talked about. Of course, Mr. Gatlin, Principal Chris Gatlin. Thank you, Lynn Roy. Appreciate you as well. And look like we may have lost that. So anyway, I see the blinking on there. That means that we're out of time on here. We'll see you Friday night and then back here on Wednesday. You watch the Eagles Nest Coaches Show on 446 Sports.